Hey guys, Brandon here with another BMN Review. Today's movie is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, a 1966 Western film starring Eli Wallach, Clint Eastwood, and Lee Van Cleef. This is the number 9 highest ranked movie on IMDb, so I'm pretty excited to watch it. And then I'll be back with my synopsis, trivia, favorite quote, rating, and tomorrow's movie's clues. So this movie revolves around 3 characters. Clint Eastwood's character, who's nicknamed Blondie, who is the good. Eli Wallach's character, who is named Tuco, who is the ugly. And Van Cleef's character, who is Angel Eyes, who is the bad. So these 3 men all end up on the same course trying to get buried treasure in a cemetery. And so this movie's all about the lead up to that, and as you might know from the famous scene at the end where they're all in a gun standoff, which is one of the most famous film scenes of all time. When it comes to trivia for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, there's a few interesting things that I found out about this movie. Sergio Leone barely speaks any English, and Eli Wallach barely speaks any Italian, so they decided to speak in French because it was a commonish language between the two of them. There's also a scene where Eli Wallach is in a storekeeper's gun shop, and he just does a bunch of random things with the guns, and it looks totally scripted, but it was in fact totally unscripted, as they told him to do whatever they wanted while he was in the store. Lastly, Clint Eastwood wears the same poncho in all 3 of the Man Who Shall Not Be Named movie series. So this is the newest part of my series where I say a favorite quote that I had during the movie. And this movie's quote was, "God is not on our side because he hates idiots." This is a quote that Blondie said to Tuco because he thinks that Tuco has a much lower IQ than him, and he thinks that he's an idiot, so he's basically telling Tuco that God is not on his side after he said that God will be on our side and protect us. My rating for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is 5 out of 5 stars. I think this movie is one of the most iconic Western films of all time, if not the most iconic. It also is probably one of the most iconic films of all genres. I think Clint Eastwood does an amazing job playing his role. You won't even recognize him if you've only watched him in recent videos where he's mostly an older gentleman. So it was pretty interesting to see him as a really young guy. I think director Sergio Leone did a great job bringing his ideas to the big screen, and you wouldn't even know that this was part of a 3-movie series. And without further ado, it's time for tomorrow's movie clues. This is a 2002 war drama starring Adrian Brody. I'll give you a few seconds to think about that before revealing the movie. I hope you're having a safe and healthy quarantine during this strange and unique period of time. Hope you're finding ways to stay healthy, finding ways to stay motivated, finding different passions that you might not have known before quarantine started. But without further ado, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and here's tomorrow's movie.